Hello, so another funky fly tying tutorial. This time we're going to be looking at a river nymph. Now, you've probably heard of a Mary, which is a very small pheasant tail. This is very similar to that, but we've got a little bead on it. But the other thing I'd like to pick up on this one is if I just turn this hook slightly, you can just see that catch the light. I've got a tiny little bit of yellowy gold holographic, and it's a really good key trigger, so let's go ahead and tie it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got a 2499. Personally, this is one of my favourite river hooks. I will use jig hooks, etc. However, I just find this for nymphs solid, and I've got in there a small bead. That's a 2.5 bead, and it's countersunk, so it's not the one that you use for your jig hooks. And just come in there and get a little bit of tying thread. I'm going to come down the hook shank to a point opposite the hook point there, short body. Now I've laid something down, here we go. So you've got this stuff. It's kind of overtaken cock hackles for tails now. It's coq de Leon, and this is quite a gingery one. And I want that tail to be about the same length as the body. So what I'll do, first of all, I'll just do a couple of short turns just to hold everything in place. Pull the fibres to where I want them, and then secure with proper thread wraps. There you go. It's about the same length as the whole hook, that tail. Is that sitting in the vise right? Not really. Let me just, hook point's pointing down a little bit. There you go, that's better. Just tighten everything up. Sorry about that. Come in with your scissors at an angle with a bead and just trim that off there. So that's our tail in place. I now use a thin copper wire. Give myself a little length of that stuff. And just tie that in. What I like to do is put the actual end up into the bead. Secure that in. What we're going to do is take a pheasant tail. This is quite an old bird, so the fibres are really long, which helps. And catch it in by the tips. A couple of wraps just to secure it. Pull the tips slightly, and I'm going to come in and trim all the tag end here. Just make sure that you've got the pheasant tail in such a position so that when you do wind it up, the whole body is nice and even. So there we go. Keep your turns as close together as possible so everyone butts up against the previous one. And then just stop there. Beautiful little compact fly this. It's really good for stalking. So southern chalk streams, etc. And you can see there, I've actually caught that fibre? I've caught that fibre. Isn't that typical? So I just came in with my scissors there, and I've caught that one fibre. Let me just see what that's like. Yeah, it's fine. Another side of the hook shank. I'll just tidy that up here. A little bit too gusto-ish with the scissors, so in with the rib, one at the tail, and then just lock off behind the bead. I should really tighten my bobbin holder a little bit. Tighten the bead there, and then just a couple of little twists. I'll see that break off. So let me see that. Yeah, it's fine. Now we've got this gold, yellowy gold holographic. It's just a really, really good colour. And then all you're going to do is tag it in along the back with the fly. And make sure it is right on the back, exactly straight along the back. When you're tying at this angle, so I'm looking down on the fly, there's a tendency to have it to one side, so make sure you look down on it from above. Couple of wraps down the holographic. Make sure I've got enough to work with there. And then I've got a dark, really dark, chocolatey squirrel dubbing. And make a really tight rope. Really get that on there, nice and tight. Come down to where my thread is. You can see that I've got the thorax area. And then just build your little bit of thorax area, not too much. Pull some fibres off if need be. And then just bring that holographic up. Again, make sure, look from above if you can, and just lock that in place. And cut the turns. You got a tiny little bit of flash there, that's all you need. In with the scissors and trim it. There we go. You've got that tiny little bit of flash there. And then we come in, what I like to do with this stuff is, I like to get a little bit of varnish on the thread. Because it's such a small fly, I don't know what we're going to put varnish on after we've done the whip finish. Ideally, do the whip finish and varnish at the same time. So, in with my whip finishing tool. 1, 2, 3, done. That's it done. That's the fly done. A stunning little flashback pheasant tail that, with a little red bead. Works absolute wonders on sighted fish, like your southern chalks and stuff. Again, it fishes well actually underneath a big dry fly, so you could fish it Geo style. Fish it wherever way you see fit. I'm sure you'll have great success using it. I know that I have one of the killer flies in my box actually. Good luck.